Sweetheart, you don't have to hide your hands. The world should see how beautiful you are. 25-year-old Emerson Vale knelt beside the wheelchair, gently uncurling the small fingers that clutched a napkin. The 5-year-old girl, blonde curls framing uncertain eyes, had been staring at her untouched plate for 10 minutes. Around them, the diner hummed with afternoon chatter, but in this booth, time had softened. I can't hold the fork right," the child whispered, shame coloring her cheeks. Emerson's heart cracked open. She'd waitressed at Maple and Main Diner for 3 years, but something about this little girl sitting alone in her wheelchair stirred something deeper. Behind her, a man in an expensive suit sat rigid, watching with hollow eyes that held oceans of grief. "Then let me help you," Emerson said softly, picking up the fork. "We all need help sometimes. That's what makes us human." The man was Beckett Ashford, 33, CEO of Ashford Technologies. His daughter Hadley had been his entire world since the day she was born, the same day his wife Caroline died from complications. He'd raised Hadley alone, pouring every ounce of love into her bright laughter and curious spirit. Until the accident. 8 months ago, Hadley had spotted a toy store across from her school. In her excitement, she'd slipped from his grasp and run into the street. The screech of tires, the sickening thud, the silence that followed. She survived, but her legs didn't. The doctor said she'd never walk again. Beckett blamed himself every waking moment. He'd brought Hadley here today because she'd refused to eat for 2 days. At home, she'd retreat into silence. In public, she hid. But watching this waitress, this stranger with gentle hands and patient eyes, coax his daughter into taking a bite, something shifted in his chest. "Is it good?" Emerson asked, smiling as Hadley chewed. Hadley nodded, a tiny smile breaking through. It's really good." "See? I knew you were brave enough to try." Beckett's throat tightened. When had someone last called his daughter brave instead of broken? Emerson didn't know why she stayed at their table longer than necessary. Maybe it was the father's devastated eyes, maybe it was the daughter's quiet courage, or maybe it was because she understood loss. Her own father, Griffin, had died 2 years ago, a heart attack that came without warning. Her mother, Delphine, had collapsed under the weight of grief, leaving Emerson to carry them both financially. She worked double shifts at the diner, then studied fashion design online until 2 a.m., stitching dreams from exhaustion. But seeing Hadley's small hand reach for another bite, seeing her trust a stranger with her vulnerability, reminded Emerson why kindness mattered. "What's your name?" Hadley asked quietly. "Emerson, but my friends call me Emmy." "Emmy," Hadley tested the word like something precious. Will you come back tomorrow?" Emerson glanced at Beckett. He looked stunned as if her daughter had just spoken a foreign language. "I work here every day, sweetheart, so yes, I'll be here." Days became weeks. Every afternoon, Beckett brought Hadley to the diner. Every afternoon, Emerson sat with her, helping her eat, telling her stories, making her laugh. Slowly, Hadley began to open up. "I used to run everywhere," Hadley said one day, her voice small. "Daddy called me my little lightning bolt." Emerson squeezed her hand. "You're still lightning, Hadley, just in a different way. Lightning doesn't stop being powerful because it changes direction." Beckett, watching from across the table, felt something he hadn't felt in months. Hope. One evening, as Emerson prepared to leave, Beckett stopped her. "Why do you do this? You don't know us. You don't owe us anything." Emerson paused, her eyes glistening. "My father used to say that kindness isn't about what we owe, it's about what we can give when someone needs it most." She looked at Hadley, then back at him. Your daughter needed someone to see her, not her wheelchair. And honestly, helping her has been helping me too. The first twist came on a rainy Thursday. Emerson arrived at the diner to find Beckett waiting outside, soaked and trembling. "She won't stop crying," he said desperately. "She saw other kids running at the park, and she just broke. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to give her back what I took from her." Emerson's heart shattered. "Beckett, it wasn't your fault. She ran because I wasn't paying attention. She ran because she was a child filled with joy. That's not a crime. That's not your failure." Emerson stepped closer, rain streaming down her face. "You've been punishing yourself for 8 months, and she feels it. She thinks she's a burden to you." Beckett's face crumbled. "She's not. God, she's not. She's everything." "Then show her," Emerson whispered. "Stop mourning who she was and celebrate who she is. She needs you to believe she's still whole." The second twist unfolded a month later. Emerson had been missing shifts, arriving late, her eyes ringed with exhaustion. Beckett noticed. "What's happening?" he asked one evening, after Hadley fell asleep in the booth. I have enough. My mom, she's getting worse. The grief is consuming her, and I'm trying to hold everything together. The rent, the bills, my classes. I'm drowning, Beckett." His jaw tightened. "Let me help you." "No," he said quietly, "not as charity, as someone who understands what it means to drown." His eyes held hers. "You've given Hadley something I couldn't, the ability to see herself as more than her limitations. Let me give you something back. Let me pay for your design courses. Let me help with your mother's medical care." Tears streamed down Emerson's face. I can't accept. You told me kindness is about what we can give when someone needs it most," Beckett said quietly. "Let me be kind too." 6 months later, the diner had become sacred ground. Hadley was laughing more, participating in physical therapy, even designing adaptive clothing with Emerson, tiny dresses with wheelchair-friendly features. Emerson had graduated from her courses and landed an apprenticeship at a design house. Delphine had started therapy, slowly finding her way back to life. And Beckett had learned to forgive himself. One evening, as they sat in their usual booth, Hadley looked up at Emerson with shining eyes. "Emmy, you're my best friend, but I think Daddy loves you. Is that okay?" Emerson's breath caught. Beckett's face flushed, but he didn't look away. "Hadley's right," he said quietly. "I do love you. Not because you fixed us, but because you showed us we were never broken. You taught me that love isn't about perfection, it's about showing up. It's about seeing someone's pain and choosing to stay." Emerson's tears fell freely. "I love you both too. You've given me purpose when I'd forgotten what that felt like." Hadley giggled. "We helped each other." "Yes," Emerson whispered. "We did." Under the warm lights of Maple and Main Diner, 3 people sat together, no longer strangers, no longer broken, but beautifully, imperfectly whole. They understood now that kindness isn't a grand gesture. It's kneeling beside someone's pain. It's offering a hand without expecting anything in return. It's believing that every person, regardless of their limitations, deserves to be seen, valued, and loved. The world kept spinning outside, but inside that booth, hope had taken root, and it would grow for all the days ahead. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's spread more stories of kindness and hope together.